Vert amplifier. What's the voltage gain? The voltage gain. What is the? Go ahead.
Negative RF over RI.
Yes, thank you. All right. What's the input impedance? What's the input impedance not to the op amp, but to the circuit? I mean, when we look at the input terminals, we look to the right, what impedance do we see?
CR1 in parallel with RF.
Really? You think the RI and RF are connected together at both ends? Because that's the only way they can be in parallel.
No. It's in series.
All right, that's that a guess, but so correct. I divided by IN the terminals. This is true in any circuit. This is true in any circuit. Now let's apply it. Let's apply it to this particular circuit. What's IN equal to? What's IN equal to? I'm missing two people.
You say IN? That's VI over RI.
Yes. From. Where do you get that from?
That could only be that's the only way we could solve I and Y, because the input current into the op amp would be 0, so that we'd have to look at RI.
No, the reason you stated doesn't make any sense. The reason you stated you need another statement for what you just gave me to make any sense.
I just use
what you're saying is what you're saying is 0. Say again. No, you didn't use Ohm's law. That's the point. That's the point I was trying to make. You're not using Ohm's law. You're supposed to be using Ohm's law, but you're getting ahead of yourself. Right.
Yes, sir.
IN is this voltage. Let's call it V1. IN is IN is V1 divided by Ri. That's Ohm's law. That's Ohm's law. Now, what is V1 equal to? Excuse me, what did you just say? Vi runs through? What is this? What does that mean? Voltage doesn't run anywhere. Voltage does not run. Voltage is across. You didn't say run, what did you say? That's nonsense. You did say something. And it sounded very much like run. I don't know how you get to a 400 level class and don't know that voltage is across. And because y'all don't think about it right, y'all talk nonsense. Voltage is not like current. Current flows. Voltage does not flow. Voltage is across 2 points. Voltage V1 is from this point to that point. Vi is from that point to that point. Now, what's V1 equal to?
V1 is equal to IN multiplied by RI.
Yeah, but now you go in circles. You just rearrange this equation. That ain't helpful.
You could use KVL.
Exactly. We've done this before. And why y'all don't remember is because y'all don't study. What are we gonna do? Why? What tells you that? How do you know that?
When you use KVL as B, it is B equal, V1 is equal to VI.
What step are you missing out? What step you're not telling me?
No, I mean, after you use KVL around that loop, because we know V.
There's still a step you're not telling me.
What do you mean, VD is equal to 0?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's only because this is 0.
Approximately 0, yeah.
It's only because that is 0 then? Yes, but we call it 0. It's only because it's 0 when we do KVL. Because it's 0, and when we do KVL, V1 equals VI. So indeed, IN is VI divided by RI. Okay? So Zn then, Zn is Vn divided by In, but I indeed, Zn is Ri. Cn is Ri. When we look this way, all we see is this resistor because this point looks like it's connected to ground. So how would you measure Zn? I didn't say calculate now. We calculate Zn by saying Zn is Ri.
Dr. Cartwright, you're breaking up. I ain't really catch your question.
Yeah, I didn't get that either.
How do you Zn? Did you get the question I asked? How do you measure Zn? All right. Somebody has an answer?
I have a question. Remember when we was doing superposition and you was talking about virtual ground? Does this circuit have virtual ground or no?
Johnson.
Is it?
Does the circuit have it?
My guess is yes.
And where is it?
That would be right after the resistor.
Yo, man, what resistor? There are two resistors in this circuit.
Right after RI. I believe that's the virtual ground.
Of course, it's a virtual ground. I don't know why you believe this. I told you this. It must be day one. I told you that's the virtual ground. And what does that mean? What does virtual ground mean? What does virtual ground mean?
That has something to do with the point. Wouldn't it act as a ground? Couldn't we take that as a point? For example,
what do you mean can it?
We looking at Zn. I was saying we could take it across that.
Take Zn across the virtual ground? Mr. Johnson,
I can't explain it good. I may be kind of confused.
Well, if you can't explain it, you don't know it. If you can't explain it, you don't know it.
Yes, sir.
You say, I know this, but I can't explain it. No, man.
Yes, sir.
This point is virtual ground, meaning what? It behaves as if it's connected to ground. And if it's connected to ground here, it's connected to ground here. So this resistor, when we look this way, all we see is this resistor connected from that point to this point. All right. All right. Now let's get back to my question. How do you measure Zn? Why is it nobody can tell me this? I don't think this math means anything to you all. I think you think that math is just something to memorize. Math has meaning. Folks, look on the page and tell me, what did I say Zn is? Look on the page. What did I say Zn is?
All right.
No, that's for this circuit. For any circuit, what did I say Zn is?
VI over IN.
Thank you very much. That's a definition. This is a definition. Okay? This is a calculation. Okay. Calculations is specific to the circuit. Okay. definition is true anywhere. So, using the definition, tell me how I. You know, we did all this back in 235. And yet, y'all don't learn the principles. Folks, what is Zn equal to? Y'all just told me what Zn is equal to. Tell me again, what is Zn equal to? So how are you gonna measure Zn?
The input resistance.
Well, you could, although that's not what I'm looking for right now. Zn is measure Vi divided by measure In. Does that make sense? Exactly. So why couldn't get anybody to tell me this? I've been now asking for what, 10 minutes? And how do you measure Vi and P spice? How do you measure Vi and P spice? No, it is Vi. Wait a minute. No, it's not the volts cross V1. Vi is not the volts cross V1. Vi is equal to the volts cross Vi is equal to V1. Well, those are two different voltages. Conceptually, those are two different voltages. We had to show that V and they're only approximately equal because VD is a function of VI. I don't know why we bought
Dr.
teaching
Cartwright,
anything.
Dr. Cartwright, you could indicate before you
Yes,
move the paper because I missed the screenshot. I thought there's more space on that. I thought you was gonna keep writing on that.
Yo, man, that same page has been there for the past 10 minutes.
Yeah, Dr.
That same
Cartwright, but why
page has
the
been there for the
screenshot
past
if you
10
don't finish
minutes.
writing on it though? But you
If you
still...
missed it, it's because you haven't been.
Hold on. Dr. Cartwright, you just moved the paper in a split second. How I know you was gonna move the paper to take the screenshot? How?
Excuse me?
You just moved the paper. I didn't know you was gonna move it, so how would I have known to take the screenshot? Why would I take the screenshot if you ain't finished
Well,
working on that paper?
you should always have.
I thought you was gonna keep writing on that.
You always copy what I write.
Dr. Cartwright, what are you saying to me? You say the screenshot and don't write. So I was waiting for you to fill that page so I could screenshot it. The
All right,
page
all
wasn't
right.
filled, and you moved
All
it.
right, all right. Let's end this. I will tell you when I'm moving it.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, what on this page have you not copied down?
I just want to take a screenshot. I got now. I got it now. You can change it now.
All right, all right. So I was asking, how do we measure VI? MP Spice.
I would click on the wire, and I would name it VN.
So you will simulate. You will simulate VI. You will simulate VI. VI is key. Now, how do you measure this in P-Spice? What measurement do we want?
Will it be the peak to peak?
Thank you very much, Ms. Buchester. So times VI is doing this, and then it settles. So we don't want this peak to peak. We want peak to peak out here after it's settled. We get that measurement, and we get that measurement, and we'll have VI peak to peak. And the same is true of IN. We would simulate IN, and we'll get IN peak to peak. And
Dr.
then,
Cartwright,
yes, go ahead.
sorry to interrupt. Could you repeat what you said about the decaying sine wave?
I'm saying we want to wait until the waveform has reached steady state,
Okay.
the measurement. Because if we made the measurement out here, we won't have accurate measurement.
Yes, sir.
All right, so Zn then we calculate Zn to be VI peak to peak over IN peak to peak. And that would be our measurement. Any questions about that? Excuse me? I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you said. So, young man, do you have a question or not? Young man, don't sound like you understand. Yes, and how do we measure VI? And how do we measure VI? I don't know what that means. I label the line. I label which line. There's I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything other than, do you see a V1? Do you see a V1 on page 2? So why are you talking about V1? All right. Are you still having a problem? Don't say you understand if you don't understand. Yeah, man, I'm showing you right here. So you don't know how to put this cursor here? Is that what you're telling me? So I don't. You trying to confirm what sort? Are you trying to confirm, young man? What are you? Which line I use? How do I tell PSpice to plot VI? Is that what you're asking? Yo man, we've been doing that since 120. We've been doing that since 120. I'm not going to reteach you PSpice at a foreign level class. I suggest you get some help. Say again? All right. Anybody who wants to get another shot of this, get it now because I'm moving it. Okay. I'll make it measure the voltage gain. Did they send that in homework? How am I going to measure the voltage gain in PSpice?
Would it be the measured output over the measured input?
What do you call? What do you call the measured output? All right. So there's V out. There's V out. What are you going to do with that?
Get the peak to peak values.
Thank you very much. You're going to get the peak to peak values just like you got just now. V out, peak to peak, divided by VI, peak to peak. That's the measured value. Okay. So you're going to need to plot V out and you're going to need to plot VI. And just now we found out you're going to need to plot I in.
Okay, there is a question like this on homework.
Yes, go ahead.
I say we're gonna have to be doing the same thing for the homework. I saw a question like this on
What homework? Yo, man, that's what I'm going through right now.
Yeah, I just saying.
That's what I'm going through right now. I'm showing you what I need from you for the homework.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me make sure that I said that on the homework.
You said that.
I did say that, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. I just want to be sure I said it. All right. Oh, let me add one more thing to that homework.
And you adding?
Yes, I'm adding. Make sure the input impedance to the circuit is at least 10,000 ohms.
Oh, Dr. Cartwright, what you adding?
I just said it.
You add now what? We have to put 1,000 ohms on that.
I didn't say that. I said make sure the input impedance is at least 10,000 ohms.
All right. Make sure send that in the email too, please.
Yeah, I could do that. Give me a second here. Be sure the input impedance is at least 10,000 kilo ohms. Okay. All right. Did I cover everything?
I have one question. What do you mean by this 1% resistor?
What do I mean by a 1% resistor?
Yeah, I ain't too clear with that.
You just broke up. What was the last thing you said, Mr. Buchamp?
I said I wasn't too clear what you mean by the 1% resistors. I know you to give us a resistor range from 1K to 1 meg.
Do you know what I mean by 10% resistor?
Yes, sir.
Young man, surely you got this way back even in 111. Resistances have tolerances. Okay. The value of your resistor, even though it indicates it's 100 ohms, it is not 100 ohms. It is not 100 ohms. It's 100 plus or minus a number, and that number depends upon its tolerance. If it's 100 ohms and it's 10% resistor, and it's a 10% resistor, then it could be as much as 110 ohms. If it's a 1% resistor, then its value could be as much as 101 ohms. So when you buy a resistor, even though it says 100 ohms on his color code, it is not exactly 100 ohms. Surely y'all were taught this way.
The silver, gold, and the no color?
Yes, I'm talking about the tolerance of the resistor.
Yeah.
I'm sure you all taught that way back in 111.
Oh, I didn't take that class.
You didn't get that class? Yo, man, that's a whole lab. That's 111.
I got exempted from that. That's why.
Well, you should not have been. If you don't know about resistance tolerances, then you shouldn't have been exempted.
I remember it now.
Okay. Where do you find 1% resistors?
In computers, right?
You could find a list of 1% resistors, yes. Just Google 1% resistors. Okay. Anything else? Let's go there. Let's go there. Let me just Google 1% resistors. All right. Let me now share. See them there? There are 1% resistors right there.
And load yet. My screen still dark. Okay, just come up.
1% standard values, 2% standard values. There they are on this table.
Why would you need a 10% resistor?
Cheaper.
Yeah.
Of course, the smaller the percentage is, the more accurate the resistor is.
Yeah, that's why I asked that question.
Well, 10%. Yeah, well, 10% resistors are cheaper than 5% and cheaper than 2%.
And that's the only advantage on the circuit.
That's the only advantage. Yes. The advantage is it's cheaper. If you build a million machines, and you can save 1 cent, okay, you save 1,000,000 cents. Okay, that's $10,000. Just because you save 1 cent on one part. But of course, when you build an individual, just single circuits, it doesn't matter. The price doesn't matter that much. All right. Did I cover everything I need to cover? Okay. So how many graphs are you going to need? How many piece-by-piece graphs are you going to need?
Going to need 3, look like.
Which 3?
You want to plot the V out, simulate the V out, the VN, and the IN.
Yes. Yes. I think that's all you need. Okay.
So y'all say only the V out and IN? All right.
No, Mr. Johnson, we said V out, VI, and IN.
And we'll be using those values to calculate the gain and the impedance, right? The input impedance.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. Okay. I think that's it. Yes? Yes? Yeah, man, I have to describe what that meant.
And that's when we use the resistor.
No.
Saturation, that talk about it only cover rating of 12 amps, I believe. I may be saying the wrong thing. Yeah, volts. Sorry.
I've shown you what happens in saturation. So the person who just asked me a question,
The peak gets
go ahead. It is when the sine wave saturated is when the sine wave gets clipped. And it's
peak.
no longer, it is no longer a good sine wave. It's no longer a proper sine wave. What do you do about that?
Dr. Cartwright, would you be
Excuse
able?
me?
I was gonna ask if you could decrease the input voltage or increase VCC. Would that be possible?
I'm telling you what VCC is. Did I not tell you in that problem I sent you what VCC is?
Well, in the
volts.
problem, yeah.
So that's not an option. So the only option you have is what? Decrease the input voltage. Decrease the input voltage.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But if I had only asked that for like not for the sake of the assignment, but I meant in general, if that would be possible to do.
Well, it depends upon your situation. If you try and get VCC from battery, then you might want a 12-volt battery. But if you have no constraints on VCC, then you can make VCC. Well, actually, there are going to be constraints on VCC. Why? Your op amp can't work out any VCC. You're going to have to look up specs for the op amp and see what is the highest VCC it could take.
Okay.
Y'all haven't built stuff in 211. When you build something, you can't exceed what the device can handle. Okay. So op amps have a maximum amount of VCC you can apply to them. And how would you know?
You'd have to look at the data sheet with you.
Exactly. You have to look at the data sheet. That's exactly right. Right. All right. I think I covered everything I need to cover. Y'all can have the rest of this class, Monday's class. This assignment is due by 2 o'clock, before 2 o'clock on Monday. Yes?
Repeat that, please.
You can have the rest of today's class, and you can have Monday's class to get this assignment to me before 2 o'clock on Monday.
All right, no problem.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else? Any other questions? All right.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend.
Can I see page 1?
Dr.